What's up, YouTube? What's going on? Today we are going to be doing a ranking of Danganronpa 3 anime characters, and also I'm going to be giving my thoughts and reviews about the anime because I've played all the games at this point and I've always, done a tier list about the games. But it's a little bit different for this because I couldn't exactly watch the anime on stream. I think I would get striked for that like a million times. So instead, I'm going to start off with a ranking of the characters, kind of tell you what I think about each character as I'm going, and at the very end, I'll give thoughts about the entire show as a whole. Aoi, we're just going to jump right into it. So Aoi is always going to be an A for me. I mean, A for Aoi. We love to see her. Here's the thing, though. That moment in the third episode where they pretended to kill her off, and there was like a knife and like tomato juice in her like chest. They pretended to kill her off. What the hell? Like, at first you think, oh, the attacker did that, but like especially at the end when you realize that there was no attacker, it's just like, why? How? Huh? Hello? And honestly, I think it's kind of bad writing. I'm not even gonna lie. I kind of hated the fact that they pretended to kill her off. But yeah, that's just something I have about a gripe with the show. That's nothing against Aoi herself. Byakuya. B for Byakuya Dogami. I like his presence in the anime. I like how he's a tea-sipping, controlled man who's in charge of the rich boys. I love it. But he didn't really do that much, and he's a lot better than he was in the games personality-wise, but other than that, okay, Chisa. I'm looking, and there's no Chisa from the Despair arc, so this will be Chisa in both Despair and Future arc. And honestly, oh god, I'm gonna put her as A. I'm gonna put her above Aoi, actually. Here's the thing that I really, really liked about Chisa. She was a very good person. And then she got brainwashed, and oh my god, seeing the freaking moments where like she interacted with the other characters and you knew she was brainwashed and no one else knew. Oh, that was like some of the best parts of it. Was just like the tension of knowing she was brainwashed and that no one else knew. I'll be honest, I forgot this guy's name, and I don't like the fact that he sounds like the way that he sounds. Yeah, I think that's just it. I think that's really it. Also, what a lame talent, like the ultimate gardener or whatever he was. Come on. What are you gonna do, grow tomatoes in a freaking death game? No wonder he died first. Gosu. Oh, it breaks my heart, but I'm gonna put Gosu at C. We didn't really see much of him. I liked what we did see, though. That's the thing. I really did like what we did see. However, I think it's a little bit overdone. I think that having just like a really, really nice guy who dies immediately is a classic anime trope, and I've got to put the classic anime trope at the classic anime trope like tier. But also great design, by the way. I did like that. He was basically Gonta before Gonta, to be honest. Juzo. I hated this guy originally, but I'm going to have to put him above Chisa, I think, on A. I loved Juzo's motivations. And the fact that he's a very, very complicated character. Basically, he literally could have prevented the entire series from happening, but couldn't, because if he did, then Junko would have outed him as gay. And it's like, man. And of course it's easy to sit there and be like, oh, he should have prevented it. Do you know how many deaths he indirectly, like, condoned? But then, you put someone in that situation, they don't, I mean, it's hindsight is 2020, and they put you in that situation, you don't know what you're supposed to do. And honestly, I think Juzo is a very real character in that way. Like, that choice to me and that like motivation to me made him a very real character, and I loved that. He was kind of a simp for Munakata, so that's not good. However, I honestly liked just like especially when Munakata betrays him. Ooh, broke my heart. Tengen, I don't really know. I'm gonna put him above Gosu. Cause like I still don't know how I feel about him. He's kind of like he's kind of like the Obi-Wan Kenobi for Makoto, but if Obi-Wan Kenobi was actually Palpatine at the end, he's the mastermind of that killing game, but he dies like halfway through. So I honestly don't really know what to say about it. You know what I mean? It's kind of just like, okay, he died really early on. He was kind of stereotypical old wise man. Then he died really early on, and then, oh, it turns out he was evil the whole time. It's basically Chisa, but with like none of the dramatic tension of like we know he's evil, because we don't know he's evil until like the last episode. So basically Chisa, but with none of the parts that made Chisa really good. Man, I really like this character, and now I can't remember what his name is. I am so sorry. I am so sorry. It's a lot. I forget names a lot easier when I don't have to read them 10 million times, but I'm going to put him low A. I liked him. Here's the thing. I love his personality. His character motivation, kind of iffy. He's basically just, like, trying to protect Kyoko because he made a promise to her father to do so. And that's all good, but I wish we got more of what drives him. You know what I mean? Rather than, I made a promise. Like, get me some of his backstory, you know what I'm saying? Kyoko, I'm going to put above Aoi. Love Kyoko and Makoto's relationship. Huge, like, just plus of everything. I liked Kyoko a lot more in the anime than the game, actually. However, I will say, I don't know, God, because here's the thing about Kyoko. There's spoilers for this whole thing, so if you've made it this far, you've already been spoiled on like 10 million things. But Kyoko dies like a few episodes until the end. She gets killed. She dies. She is dead. And then they Deus Ex Machina, kind of, with an antidote for the poison that killed her, and they bring her back to life. And they're like, there's only one dose, bring back Kyoko. And it's like, you know what I mean? I just really hate the fact that they had to, like, bring her back in literally, like, the last 10 seconds of the show. But I don't want to say, oh, they shouldn't have brought her back. She should have stayed dead, because I really like her. So I'm a little conflicted on that. But that's more about the show's writing rather than Kyoko as a character. Munakata. Listen, I know that's going to be controversial. I hated Munakata. His motivations to me make absolutely no sense. If he had become a despair will die and I will kill all of it after Chisa and Juzo had both died, I would have understood it. But just the fact that even before Chisa dies, he's like, Makoto, prove your loyalty to Hope by killing yourself right now. He's such a dumbass, and he was the worst antagonist ever to just watch, because, like, I don't understand any of his motivations, just, like, at all. And honestly, the fact that he does what he does, especially the fact that he betrays, like, Juzo at the end, he just pissed me off. And his redemption at the very end, quote unquote, was not that much of a redemption, to be honest. Because he still believed what he believed. He was just less murdery about it. You know what I mean? Which is good and all, but I'm just like, dude, you literally killed Juzo, and you're literally just being there like, I'm a good guy now. Like, bugger off, mate. Get out of here with that. Makoto. Oh, I'm not going to put him as S. I'm going to put him right here. I like Makoto. I liked him a lot more in the anime because we got a lot more personality out of him. Here's the thing. When Kyoko died, I really thought the show was going to make him turn to despair. And I'm so glad they didn't do that. I'm so glad that he stayed a hopeful boy until the end. That's just, I don't know. I like that they stayed true to his character. So, and I like that we did get interactions between Makoto and Komaru. By the way, I just want to point out the fact that I noticed that Toko, Komaru, and Monica are not here. That is a disservice to them, And had they been on this list, all 3 of them would have gotten an instant S. Ultra Despair Girls is my favorite Danganronpa game. That's controversial, but deal with it. Mesuke Kokahara. Chad, I loved Usami. What can I say? Just the fact that we saw Usami, like, bust out a rocket launcher and be like, I'm gonna mess you up. Literally, oh, it's my favorite part of the anime. Right there. Sweets girl. Sweets girl. Her motivations suck. She friggin' tried to kill this girl and like betrayed her and all that and like hated her because she didn't eat her sweets when she had like a medical condition that prevented her from eating. Like, no, bugger off, mate. Stop. And the fact that it's implied that she was like brainwashing this guy like the whole time to love her. And the fact that she killed him. And the fact that she's like, I'll just get new friends. I'm just saying I'm glad she died. Ryota. See this? I'm gonna put him as B. Above Byakuya. I like Ryota. Listen, he made a very stupid decision at the end of the anime that almost got everyone hope brainwashed, and I don't like that. I don't like that they made him stupid at the very end, but I understand it, and I understand it because he was pushed that far by Tengen. He was like the mental abuse. I can see why. I don't like it, but I can understand and respect his character. And up until that moment, I did enjoy Ryota. I actually theorized that Ryota was the attacker the entire time. But obviously that turned out to be false. Seiko. Bottom B. She was alright. I mean, I found her story pretty tragic, and that was pretty enjoyable to like watch and sit through. Don't know about the drugs giving her superpowers, essentially. Don't know about that one. Izuyoi. I gotta put him down here, man. I really didn't like him. He was cool. I'm gonna just preface that with like the action scenes with him, very cool. I liked those. Those were very, very cool. But his character, he's just a simp. He's just Juzo, but without like the underlining character that made Juzo good at the very end. He just I didn't like him. Obvious S. What am I even? Yasuhiro Hagakure. If they had killed him off, I would have been so pissed. I would have been so pissed if they killed him off, but luckily my boy. Me and the boys. Akane Owari. Pretty good of a B. I'm okay with putting her at the top of B. I like Akane. She's cool. I like whenever she has like an action sequence. I don't know how I feel about her having almost superhuman gymnastics abilities, but gotta say, I did kind of enjoy it, and I loved her relationship with the other characters. The fact that she was just like the spunky kid, I liked it. Chiaki. I would like to apologize to all Chiaki fans that I've offended during my playthrough of Danganronpa 2. I would like to formally apologize. I understand now. That's all I'm gonna say. Listen. Chiaki's death in this anime is the most brutal thing in the entire series. 100%. More brutal than any of the executions. More brutal than the backstories of the kids in Ultra Despair Girls. More brutal than the entire fictional plot twist from V3. More brutal than every single brainwashing torture scene ever. Chiaki's death scene was the most painful to watch out of anything else in this series. And man, they made you feel for her. Holy cow. Fuyuhiko, here's the thing. If I'm taking the game into account, instant S. But we didn't really see a lot of Fuyuhiko in the series. I'm going to put him above Chisa, though, because I did love to see his relationship with, like, an improved Pekko. That was amazing to see. Gundam. I'm going to put him as S. I loved him in the anime. He was so funny. Probably the best I don't know, probably the funniest out of the Danganronpa 2 cast, except for maybe Teru Teru. Hajime. I'm going to go with Hajime and Izuru here, and I'm going to put him in S. Holy cow, man. It was so freaking cool to see the Hajime Izuru struggle. And it was so freaking awesome, especially when Chiaki died and Izuru starts, like, crying, and he's like, what is happening right now? And he's holding the pin. Man, that was so good. And I loved Izuru's motivations. I loved Izuru's, like, here's the thing. I didn't hate, but I wasn't impressed with Izuru Kamakura as a character until, like, we started getting into the latter bits of the anime, and then I really liked him. And then Hajime comes, and Hajime is Hajime. So, Hyoko Saionji. Still gonna put her, I'm gonna put her at the top of C. I'll do that. She's good. I like her more when we get to see her, like, I don't know, kind of interact in a more human environment with the other characters. I like when we saw that. Also, she's instantly a C other than D or F because of the fact that she created the sexy soup scene. Just put her up there. Put her up there. Put her up there. She literally gave fan service to every character. Ibuki Miyoda. Chat. This placement is not biased in any way whatsoever. I repeat, this placement is not biased in any way whatsoever. Would you like a grilled cheese sandwich? I would like a grilled cheese sandwich, thank you. Jin, below Akane. I liked him, but we didn't see too much of him. Junko, S tier. Man, I hated Junko in the best way possible. I loved to hate her. And that, I think, dude, she literally took a spoon that had food particles on it and ripped someone's eye out with it. Whew. So metal. I loved her. I loved it. I loved it, man. And I hate her so much. Kazuichi Soda. I gotta say, I liked watching Kazuichi a lot more, but he was still kind of just a simp. And he was kind of like the butt of a lot of jokes, which is good, but I wanted to see something more human from him. Mahiru, we didn't see a lot of her. Here's the thing. We did not see a lot of Mahiru in the game. So going into the anime, I wanted to see more of her, and then didn't. So she's going right there. I'll put her above Seiko and Byakuya. I will say, her relationship with Sato, best part about her. Mikan. This is a character that I loved to feel bad for. I'm going to put her top of A. I loved to feel so bad for Mikan. Poor baby. She deserved so much better. But I loved the scenes with her and the imposter. Those were like the funniest scenes to me. Also, when she got tortured by Junko, that was probably like the moment in the anime where I like folded my legs inward and like clutched my pillow, and I was like, oh my god. Like, Mukuro Ikusaba. We got to see a lot more of her, but I'm going to put her at the top of B just because I think that's a good place for her. Nagito. Right there, I think. I would like to also apologize to all Nagito fans for maybe offending them during Danganronpa 2. I get it now. Nagito is by far the funniest character in both arcs, so. Nekomaru. I'm going to put him above Mukuro, actually. So, top of B. So, I like Nekomaru. We didn't see too much of him, but I really, really liked what we saw. Pekko Pekoyama. I'm gonna put her right with Fuyuhiko because I freaking loved to see her interactions with Fuyuhiko. I loved her fight with Mukuro. Oh, amen. I loved it. I loved it, man. But that was pretty much it. Yeah. I wanted to see more of her, and I did get to see more of her. So she's like Mahiru, but like better. Sonia, top of A. Or you know what? I'm gonna put her right here. I'm gonna put her above Akane. I liked what we saw. Wish we saw more. Teru Hanamura. This is gonna surprise some people. I'm gonna put him at the bottom of S. Freaking so funny. I am so happy we got to see as much of Teru as he did. Every time Teru was on screen, I laughed at whatever he said. So, I enjoyed having him. I really did. He died way too soon in the game, and I really enjoyed having him here. Ultimate Imposter. I'm gonna put him right there. Oh my god. Take what I said for every single other character where it was like, I wanted to see more of him, and I'm glad we got to see more of him, and multiply it by 1,000,000. This guy is the definition of I wanted to see more of him, and I'm so happy with what we got. Holy cow, they did him justice. They did him so much justice, and I am happy that we got to see Ultimate Imposter. So yeah, that is going to be my ranking of all the characters in both arcs. Just so you know, if Toko, Komaru, and Monica were here, once again, they would be S tier. And yeah, I think that's pretty much all the major characters. Sato, if I had to rank her, would probably be somewhere in B. But thank you guys for, tuning into this. I'm going to save this real quick. I'm going to just download this image real quick while I talk about just the show as a whole. So, I think the most important thing... no, wait, isn't it... my image 5? Yep, there we go. Okay. So, I think the thing about the anime is that I enjoyed my time with it, but I also enjoyed making fun of it. There was a lot of scenes, and especially in the future arc, I was just like, that is so stupid. But I was still laughing. It was a fun kind of stupid. It was kind of like, that makes no sense. And sure, there were some things that genuinely aggravated me, like Aoi's fake-out death and how they treated Kyoko's death, where they retconned it at the very last minute. Like, those two things do genuinely make me upset. But, like, every other, like, stupid thing, and trust me, there are a lot of stupid things, I was kind of willing to overlook because I was having fun with it. Also, Despair arc, I am so grateful that we got to see all the students interacting together. Holy cow, that's like, it was probably one of the best things, like, to happen to these characters. Like, it fleshed them out so much, and I'm just so happy that we got the opportunity to see more of these characters. Because out of any cast of characters from 1, 2, UDG, and V3, the one that I wanted to see more of was Danganronpa 2's cast. They're not the ones that I like the most, I think, but they're definitely the ones I wanted to see more of. I wanted to be like, I want to understand this character more. I want to understand that character's motivations more. I want to understand why this person is doing this more. And I got that, and that was so grateful. And then the ending had some BS elements, like Ryota suddenly becoming a little bit evil and then turning back to good. Kyoko's fake out death. All that stuff had a little bit of BS in it. But at the end of the day, I'm glad we got a happy ending. You know what I mean? That's something that, like Danganronpa 1 ends on a cliffhanger. Danganronpa 2 ends on kind of like a pretty positive message, but you're still pretty sad about, like, Chiaki and the fact that everyone died in a simulation and all that stuff. Really sad about that. Danganronpa v UDG, it ends on kind of like a hopeful note, but everything is still ruined. And with V3, it ends on a very ambiguous note. So I think with this anime, I am very, very refreshed and kind of happy to have an ending that just says, that's it. There's no ambiguity. There's no cliffhangers. There's no, oh, it's over, but that is really still messed up and we still need to work on that. There's none of that. Instead, it's this is a happy ending. We won. It's over. Despair is vanquished. We beat it. It's done. And I am so flippin' happy that these characters got a happy ending and that we as an audience, for the first time in this series, got a happy ending. For everyone. Except Chiaki. She's very dead. But for everyone. I mean, it was very refreshing and I enjoyed my time with it. However, I could sit here and go through every single little plot hole or moments that didn't make sense to me or characters that I can point at and be like, they're stupid. That's stupid. I hate this anime. But as a whole, I enjoyed my time with it. And that's all, and that's really what it is. So thank you guys so much for watching this. I know this is not a very in-depth review. I'm kind of just going on here to give my thoughts about the whole thing as a whole. Just to let you guys know. Also to let you guys know that I beat it. Or finished it. Beat it. Kind of. Mental struggle. Especially with Ruruka or whatever. Yeah, Ruruka! That's what her name was. But, it's over. Danganronpa in my life is over. Completely. It's been an absolute journey. So thank you guys so much for being here with me all through it. Until they release another game, chat. I'll see you guys then. You know I will be the first to play it. So I'll see you guys then. But until then, thank you guys so much. And hope keeps on going, I guess. Or some other cheesy crap like that, you know?